Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. This reading is going to be on the Alex Murdaugh trial and see what insight we can get on it. This is a bit of a heavier reading, and preparing for it, I had burned some sandalwood. I've got myself some obsidian and some tourmaline to really help with a little extra grounding on this one, because my gut feeling is that this is some really dark stuff. Before I started this video, I wanted to get at least a little bit of background on the case. Mostly, I knew that he was accused of killing his wife and his son, and I know that it happened in dog kennels, and I've seen some clips on like the Emily D. Baker show on that. And granted, I will admit to a little bit of bias because I've only seen kind of the prosecutor side. I haven't watched the defendant other than a little bit of testimony during cross-examination. But he seems really defensive, and there's a lot of things he cannot explain that are just way too coincidental. Being near the wife and the son minutes before they're murdered. Yeah, is it possible somebody else did it in that short time frame? Sure, but none of his behaviors are consistent with somebody who just happened to leave a couple minutes before his wife and son are killed. What I didn't know was connected, but I knew about these stories, was about somebody be dying on the property, a housekeeper being killed, all this dark stuff around him. And as I'm reading him, it's occurring to me, this guy might be a sociopath. He might be a serial killer. Now, whether he... And we'll throw cards on this. We'll find out, for entertainment purposes only. We'll find out what Spirit's willing to share with us. But my logical brain goes to, all this stuff around him. This does not happen to normal people. Even powerful people, it doesn't happen to it unless you're doing it. Okay? So this is kind of a deeper read. But I'm curious as to what Spirit will reveal. So, Spirit, can you give us some background on Alex Murdaugh? You don't have to talk about the trial per se, but can you just give us some background on this person, either like their personality, their mindset, what's going on? This will be a deep dive. All right, here we go. Okay, we got the Page of Cups and the Seven of Wands crossing it. Okay, so Page of Cups, he looks at things differently. It might be like a maturity issue, but it's almost like he's detached from reality almost. Like he's in his own world, and his world matches what he sees. If he wants fishes in cups and you wear a cap for a hat, well, that's what normal is. And crossing it is the Seven of Wands, fighting from a position of advantage. So I think he's probably an eccentric person, which is what they get with the term for a crazy person. If you're wealthy, is called eccentric. So I think he's a bit of an eccentric, and he's often surrounded by fighting, but he's always positioned himself to be fighting from the higher ground. So he always has an advantage. Certainly wealth and power, which he has both of, will allow for him to do that. And some people really get off on that because it's all about winning, baby. Okay, in the past, Queen of Cups. Does he have mommy issues? I think what it is that he's probably, Queen of Cups can also be keeping your emotions in check. In the past, he was able to kind of be cold and calculating. Maybe that's what, or at least keep, that warmth down. He doesn't feel it, or, could very well be he comes across as a warm person, but he's faking it. He doesn't actually feel that. And that would be par for the course with somebody who's like a sociopath. They don't feel. They just don't. And, but again, that's in the past. So I'm not quite sure what that is, but that's going to be my guess. My guess is that either he keeps his feelings really in check, or maybe more likely, he doesn't know how to feel. I'm guessing sociopath at this point. Current situation, Knight of Wands. He's somebody who plans things out. He, comes up with a plan and then systematically goes through that plan. Again, that's a good trait for a lawyer. And amongst the other things he's been accused of, it was embezzling from the law firm, embezzling from people inside that the law firm represented. I guess the housekeeper that died, I briefly read on this. There were funds that were raised to help her estate, and he took them. Mine. Not like anybody you know. 45. No, what's mine is mine, and what's yours is mine too. That's interesting. Are these cards upside there? Then we have the current situation. The overarching energy is the Ten of Cups. Emotions fulfilled. I think this is more an illusion of, you look at it. He had success. He's wealthy. He was married. He has a couple of kids. He has a successful law practice. He's career-wise, he was successful. Socially, he was successful. Financially, he was successful. He had everything. But it doesn't seem to be enough in his world. He needs the conflict. And everything was too good. So, gonna have to make some chaos. So then what is the outcome when everything's good? He takes a step back and he thinks about things. And he thinks about what he wants to do differently. What he wants to change. He's not concerned about the 3 swords of the good things. He's concerned about the 1 sword of change. It's kind of a reverse. Normally, the 3 swords are, you have to be really careful moving too quickly because you might get stabbed by the swords. But I think in this case, he was looking for change, and he has to figure out how he's going to do the change without getting hurt in the process. But he didn't get hurt. Everybody else is getting hurt around him. Outcome, the world. His world changes. And the world is actually seeing it. So he's changed his life. He's changed the world. But underneath it all is judgment. So, he's doing all these actions, but the world is seeing what's happening, and judgment will come with that. Okay, so that's kind of my thought as to who or what this guy's all about. Now let's ask about the case. That's what Spirit kind of wants us to know, I guess, about the case. Here's somebody who had everything, but he's thrown it all away. Why? I don't think any of us really understand. I don't know if he understands why it happened. Okay, so that's background, kind of what Spirit wants us to know. How is this case going to turn out? Let's ask how Alex Murdaugh is feeling about his case. Okay. How's he feeling? The case, the criminal case is ongoing for entertainment purposes only. The case is still ongoing. The defense is still calling witnesses, but the biggest witness has just been called and cross-examined. I mean, if the jury thinks he's done it, I don't know how much is going to change their mind at this point. Okay, so what's Alex Murdaugh currently thinking about this case? He's contemplating. He's contemplating plans. Let's see what's underneath it. Did he get away with it? Can he get away with this? He's gotten away with so much. Can he get away with a little bit more? Again, things I read about him. Somebody died on his property. Housekeeper died. Problems with his business that he's held accountable for. Wife and son killed. Claims that he was shot in the head by somebody. Good Lord. Okay, so again, can he get away with it? Coming up with an offer. My wealth. Can Can I buy my way out of this? Can I bribe my way out of this? Queen of Pentacles. What's he thinking? He's, if he still had passports, he might be thinking, I might be able to get away with this. I think I guess what this is really telling me is he's having doubt. He's not confident. He might have gone into this case being really confident, thinking he was going to get away with it again, but the prosecution's shown enough information. They brought enough information to the jury that he's not as comfortable as he was before. And he's got to start thinking about taking care of himself more than what he is. I don't think he, as much as I was saying, he seems to plan on things and was methodical, I don't think he thought the worst case scenario was going to happen. Underneath we have the High Priestess. Secrets known, secrets revealed. And I think what's happening is their secrets are being revealed. And probably in some ways, he's his own worst enemy on that one. Because probably during Cross, he's given up some information that he shouldn't have given up. So he doesn't think it's over by any stretch of the imagination. But it's going worse than he thought it would be going. Now let's take a look, see what the prosecution. How does the state feel about their case? Does the state feel that they've got something on this guy? They're feeling confident. And that one wants to be on top, so we'll just go ahead and grab this one. The Sun. State's exposing everything. They feel like they've done a good job of exposing it, and they're trying. He's crossed with the Queen of Cups. I think. They're trying to come across as revealing the truth without being biased, emotionally biased against this person. Trying not to celebrate, as it were. Why am I crossing it? I was going to do that as another card. Anyway, I'll make it a 6-carder. It was going to be a 4-carder, but let's make it a 6-carder. So in the past, we had the going away from the state point of view that... I think what it was in the past, they didn't feel like they had enough information to really go on. They probably knew something was wrong, but they didn't have enough to really act on it. They had their suspicions, but they couldn't act. But now they're acting. Now they know what's going on. They can start making big decisions as to what to go on with. That was almost a sentence, right? Again, the question is, how's the state feeling now? I think they feel like they've done a good job on that. Overarching energy, 5 of Cups, disappointment. Maybe they, some of the witnesses may have not have panned out. Maybe they're probably more looking at missed opportunities. There were some things that they could have capitalized on. Maybe they ran out of time. Maybe they weren't as savvy during Cross as they could have been. But... there is some disappointment that they didn't get everything. Or it could be that they're looking at this case and they're disappointed that maybe they missed something earlier which could have saved a couple of people's lives. Now they're looking at it, have they done enough work? Did they do enough work? And I might take that in the past. That disappointment, it's probably the other people that have been impacted by this man prior to him prior to his wife and son being murdered. I shouldn't say he killed them. I don't know that. But prior to his wife and son being murdered, they could have done, if they had looked at this guy more closely, maybe they could have prevented that from happening. Outcome, now they're moving forward, and they're moving forward with speed. And I think that Knight of Swords is more, let's look at those old cases. Let's move quickly on those old cases. Because if this guy gets off on this case, they want to quickly bring more charges on those other cases. They don't want this guy to leave. And it's a burden. The burden of proof is on the prosecution. And it's not an easy burden because this man doesn't present like he is presented as a loving family man. He was presented as somebody who was, a pillar of the community and such. So how do you go about taking somebody who's revered by people in the community and then saying, no, he really isn't everything that you think he is. He's really something else. That's not an easy thing to do. That's not an easy thing to prove. Okay, so now the question we're all waiting for, what's going to be the outcome? Okay. Outcome. And again, I put all these cards back in different sections of the deck. Part of that so I don't have to shuffle quite as much. I'm not good at shuffling. And then it makes a bunch of noise. But, yeah, refill your drinks and get your popcorn ready. Okay, what's going to be the outcome of this case? And thank you for sticking along for as long as the 15 minutes of this video already so far. I realize it's a longer one, but that's because I'm asking multiple questions in it. I often contemplate if I should just do 3 5-minute videos as opposed to one 15, 20-minute video. Okay, what's going to be the outcome? What's going to be the outcome of this case? All right. Truth will be revealed. Whatever happens, you know what? If he's found not guilty, the truth may still be revealed on him. We don't always get to say what happens with the law. It's kind of like the Dominion and Smartmatic voting cases. They may not win any money, but the truth of what was going on with Fox and the big lie, it's going to be that same way with this. What's going to happen? The truth is going to be revealed. Got the Ace of Wands. It's a big step forward in action. Again, the DA took a lot of action, really pushes this forward, and this will probably lead to more investigations into this person. This person did that to themselves. There's more. Yeah. The truth is going to be revealed, not only on this, but on other acts that he's done, other things that he's linked to. His secrets are going to be revealed. And he's going away. In this case, that's the narcissism card. This is the win at all costs. Alex, I guess, if this underlying thing were to say that he gets off, it's the narcissism card, it's win at all costs, he's either going to be convicted on all counts or he's going to get off on all counts, okay? But the truth is out there at that point. Everybody knows who this person is, regardless if they're found guilty or innocent, because we've seen the data. And, you can say, well, yeah, the court didn't put you in prison, but that doesn't mean you're innocent. It just means you were found not guilty. But I think his narcissism is laid bare, and his secrets have been laid bare. This is not a person whose life review I would want at the end of my life. He's got a lot to answer for, and probably a lot of shame and guilt that he will feel because of how he's treated people. Okay, so prayers out to the Murdaugh family, the survivors of that. Prayers to the survivors of other people that may have been impacted by this man. And if he's innocent, my apologies, but the cards are not favorable to that. Again, for entertainment purposes only. What do I know? I'm just some random dude on the internet throwing tarot cards. All right. Have a great afternoon. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, share it, do all the YouTube-y things. Much appreciated, and have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.